going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got a prediction video for you guys this afternoon. This one's for Wladimir Klitschko versus Derek Chisora. Matchup takes place December the 11th. This one's for pretty much the lineal heavyweight championship, Ring Magazine, IBF, and I believe WBO and IBO heavyweight championship. If not for all those, one of the belts more than likely. This puts together Derek Chisora versus Wladimir Klitschko. Derek Chisora being the challenger, Klitschko being the champion, of course. Chisora doesn't have too many fights underneath this belt. A lot of people who keep up with boxing, I've actually come across a couple people who I believe are just, people who kind of just watch the sport rather than follow it. A few people I've come across Dallas was just talking about how this matchup is similar to Leon Spinks versus Muhammad Ali. And, because you have a guy who's an Olympic champion against a man who's the heavyweight champion. I'm not even going to make any comparisons between these bouts. Because Chisora is a natural heavyweight, Spinks was a natural light heavyweight. Not only that, though, the difference of fights, etc. They fought, a different amount of rounds back then than they do now. But overall, if you guys haven't seen Spinks versus Ali 1 and 2, those are pretty good fights to check out. So give those fights a look. But this is a different type of fight. And it's not because you have two fighters that are in Europe, two European fighters. I'm not saying it's different because of that, but you have an established champion who's pretty much on top of his game and is getting stronger and improving as his fights progress. And you have a young guy who really has not been tested against any top 10 heavyweights. In my eyes, top 10 heavyweights, but he fought primarily in the UK. But don't get me wrong, Chisora is actually an okay fighter, but we haven't really seen, we really haven't seen much of him. And I believe, I think he's had about 14 bouts or less than that. And not only that, he hasn't fought 12 rounds in his career. So you have to, and we've seen a lot of things in the past and actually recently, where fighters who are young and they fight, established champions, they have that moment where they come out and then they freeze because of the atmosphere. And that's something I think about with this fight. Is Derek Chisora going to freeze? Now, with the styles involved, Derek Chisora is going to have to pretty much, in this matchup, Derek Chisora comes in, he has a very quick jab. It's not the stiffest jab. It's a very quick jab. I haven't really seen him set up anything off the jab. But, he comes forward, he jabs. He has pretty decent hand speed for a heavyweight. It's not as fast as Eddie Chambers, but has pretty decent hand speed. But he comes forward in a straight line. Something he wants to do against Wladimir is he does want to cut off the ring. He does want to take the jab away, but he has to find a way to take the jab away without having the jab land on him first. Really, against Wladimir, Wladimir has shown this. He doesn't like, being roughed up inside, like a lot of European fighters. When they have that, that stand up style, they don't like inside fighting. Wladimir is the type of fighter that doesn't like roughhouse tactics, and doesn't really like inside fighting. That's why he kind of keeps you at bay with the jab. Chisora in this matchup does want to take the jab away. He wants to fight primarily inside, and if he wants it outside, he's going to have to evade the jab. He's going to have to kind of put the glove up and kind of evade the jab, move over with the shoulders, and come over top of the jab. Find a way to do that. But one thing that Chisora cannot do in this matchup is look for one shot. He has to look for multiple shots. Not only does he have to look for multiple shots, but Chisora is also, and while I'm bleeding here, Chisora is also going to have to go to the body a lot. Crouch down and just jab to the body. Throw a lot of jabs to the body. It won't take away the movement, but kind of as Vladimir moves his jab to the body consistently. And I think if he does, little boxing things, boxing, give Vladimir a little bit of trouble. I think that if he uses his boxing ability, I think he should beat Wladimir Klitschko. If he can do that, he'll have a chance at doing it. If he does little things like jabbing to the body, fighting inside, but not look for one shot, not fighting in spurts, but and also not waiting. A lot of opponents against Wladimir Klitschko, they wait and they look for one big shot. And for Chisora, he can't look for just one big shot. In this matchup for Wladimir Klitschko is definitely going to have to, keep him at the end of the jab. Keep him at the end of the jab. And Chisora does come forward, and he has some, I think really he does have a very suspect defense. If you look at him fighting Baker, he has, how his hands are positioned. Just look like he'll probably have trouble protecting himself from a stiff jab. He could probably protect himself from a flickering jab, but from a stiff jab, Chisora I think will have trouble defending himself from that shot. Also, Wladimir is going to have to use a lot of jab variations. Look for the uppercut. Because how Chisora crouches down, look for the uppercut. He did in the last match against St. Peter on September 11th. He did, throw the uppercut, or he was looking for it. And also, just look for occasional openings. Heard him looking for occasional openings. Kind of give him, I guess, make it, take it to the later rounds. As long, take him to the later rounds and probably look to take him out in the later rounds. I think Vladimir should do that. Look for the straight right hand over the top. Look for the right hook. The right hook should be there and set it up off the jab. So I think that's what Vladimir needs to do. I think he needs to, like I said, just his typical fight. I think Chisora has a style made for Vladimir just to fight his typical fight. So it is what it is. For me, I'm going to go with Wladimir Klitschko in this matchup. I think Vladimir should knock him out in the 9th round. Chisora has not been on the stage yet, and I don't know if he's going to rise to that occasion of being on this being in this atmosphere for the first time in his career, fighting for a championship. Not only fighting for a championship, but not being on this level yet. I think it's one of those things where he's on the stage too early. And I think Vladimir should knock him out in 9 rounds. So anyway, guys, that was the distance. And sorry for the blood here. But anyway, it is what it is. So guys, thanks for watching. That was the distance. Peace.